Okay, the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef seems to have finally died down, so now that it's basically over, I kind of want to bring up a point that kind of played a major role in why Kendrick dookied all over him in his beef. He outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and out-rapped Drake at almost every turn, and when you look at the two of them and their history as rappers and artists, it's sort of easy to see why Kendrick always had a slight advantage throughout this whole thing. For one thing, a few of Drake's jabs at Kendrick didn't hit as hard as they could have because they were things that Kendrick went in depth about on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Drake came at Kendrick for doing Whitney dirty for years and cheating with a white woman, but on Mr. Morale, Kendrick talks about his sex addiction that stemmed from childhood trauma and the guilt he felt for hurting Whitney and how Whitney helped him through that to repair their broken relationship. The entire album was one big confession and an admission of hypocrisy and self-hate for the things he did. Drake pulling up now and saying, haha, you cheated with a white woman 10 years ago, you hypocrite, doesn't really feel like some huge blow because you've already heard Mr. Morale. Drake somewhat tried to do this with getting ahead of the curve with the Orochimaru allegations on tailor-made freestyle, but it didn't exactly work out the same because Drake was denying his accusations. On the other hand, it's hard to attack someone for something they've already acknowledged about themselves in the past and worked to grow past. Another big difference between the two of them in this beef was precedent, and that's a huge one. I saw all these people online talking about, where's the proof? Somebody gotta come with receipts. Is this y'all first rap beef ever? When has there ever been, concrete proof for anything? Obviously, there's been a few times, but usually there really isn't. When Pac said he fucked Faith, he ain't have no proof of that shit, but there was people that had seen them being all buddy-buddy and cuddled up, and that was enough for the rumors to stick and take effect. Nas was talking about Jay-Z getting chased and calling him at 88. We ain't know if that was true. It doesn't even really sound that true, but it sounded hard, and it easily could have been because both of them were from New York and had somewhat of a history. Rap beef always been about precedent. How much is there to at least give your claim some sort of substance? Unfortunately for Drake, there's a little bit too much precedent with this Hisoka R. Kelly talk. Baka does have a weird case. Why is he around? Why were you texting 13-year-old Millie Bobby Brown that frequently and inviting her to hang out alone and telling her you miss her so much? You was 30. Why was you kissing on Kylie Jenner like that when she was 16? Why did you still kiss that 17-year-old on stage after she told you her age? Looking very freaky deaky to me. Most of that stuff isn't super concrete, but it's way more than enough for you to look at him sideways. Same with the child accusations. There isn't any concrete proof, but Drake has a history with a hidden child, and it's enough for you to look at him sideways. On the flip side, you have Drake throwing out allegations that seem to come from left field. The abuse accusations do have some precedent because Kendrick's been transparent about his marital issues, but then the academics came out and admitted that Drake made up the whole Day Free thing. Now how the fuck I'm gonna believe anything else this guy Aubrey says? It's even worse with the Planet Information thing because the aftermath of that just makes Drake look even more confused and unprepared. The main difference though is what they care about, the things they value. Drake tries to act like he's this cool guy laughing at the nerdy guy who's beneath him. Guys, look at this dweeb rapping like he's trying to free the slaves. Throughout his career, though, he's always given the vibe that he was envious of the respect that Kendrick gets in the industry. Y'all remember back when Macklemore got Album of the Year over Good Kid, Mad City, and the world was like, wait, what? Macklemore texted Kendrick about the whole situation, saying he felt like Kendrick was robbed, and then Drake went on a whole rant about how he shouldn't have apologized, and he felt like if Macklemore texted Kendrick, then everyone else should have got a text too, and it felt cheap, and blah, blah, blah. First of all, who asked? Going out of your way to whine that you didn't get a sorry text too is giving elementary school vibes, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of why the line where he's like,
hey, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now.
Just comes off as bitter and jealous. He's always giving off that spiteful vibe, so it's hard to take him seriously when he's like, oh, look at this geek rapping about social issues. On top of that, some of Drake's bars could be debunked with the slightest bit of research. Kendrick, quote-unquote, not planting money trees is cap, because there's an alarming amount of stories about what he does for Compton, and he doesn't even speak about most of it. Meanwhile, on the other hand, if you research Kendrick's accusations, you just end up going down a rabbit hole of strange shit in Drake's past. Now that the smoke cleared and the dust settled, it's definitely obvious that Drake might have made a mistake, not only by isolating himself in the industry by sneak dissing and snaking everybody for years, but also by attacking Kendrick without actually expecting him to have shit tucked in the chamber. This battle was clearly something that was brewing for over a decade, and it demonstrated a lot about how these two view each other, how the industry views them, and how secure they are with themselves as artists.